Hello, everyone. Welcome to another review class for our lab students. And straight from Cebu City, let's welcome Sir Regel Andaya. Good afternoon, Sir Regel.
Mayong hapon kaninyong tanan.
Wow, Bisayang Bisaya, Cebuano, gyud ko.
Sugda na natong atong session.
Okay. Okay, so our focus today is Zang theory.
Ah,
Yes. What are the five Zang, Sir Regel?
there are five. There are heart, lungs, spleen, liver, and kidneys.
Okay. We also consider the pericardium. Of course, it's part of the heart, no? Although other books would say kasama siya sa pang-anim. But basically, it's, it's the one related sa heart. It encloses.
Pero pero Dok, ang heart Dok, bilong lagi na siya sa extraordinary organs.
Which one?
Ang heart.
No, hindi siya
Pericardium.
extraordinary. Extraordinary foo.
Oo, extraordinary food.
No,
So wala siya yung hulingong median channels. I don't know.
no. Una-una, foo organs yon. Hindi naman foo ang heart eh. Sige, let's talk about it later. Let's go to the next one. What are the general functions of the Zang?
So to store fundamental substances without discharging.
Okay, so they are so fundamental na hindi nila nilalabas yan. Okay. What about the functions of the Fu?
So they are to transform food and drink to produce qi and blood, and to receive, move, transform, digest, excrete, and hollow and discharge without storing.
Okay. Actually, Fu organs are hollow organs or the young organs. So there is movement, no? Kaya they receive, they move, they transform, they digest, they excrete, they discharge. They do not store, unlike the Zang or yin organs or the solid organs. What are the six Fu?
So there are six in the small intestine, large intestine, stomach, gallbladder, urinary bladder, and the santiao.
Wow. The digestive organs fill in the blanks. The digestive organs are all connected. The urinary bladder is connected to the digestive tract via the.
Santiao.
Okay. Oh, wait, that's how you pronounce it, Sanchao?
Yeah, in Chinese you pronounce the J as zi xiao. So
Oh.
santiao.
Oh, thank you so much. Sanchao. Okay. Yung pala yun. Uy, tandaan nyo, Ma'am Trix sa Dokshe. Kakaya pala tayo, Santiao. Santiao.
Santiao.
Santiao. Okay.
So,
So hindi Sanjiao. Santiao.
Hindi.
Jiao is
Ay,
a
Santiao. Sorry,
more
Doc, what's that?
English
Santiao.
pronunciation.
Parang CH na kalahati, no?
Yeah, something like ZH, something like
Oh.
Because my wife's name is Jian, Jian.
Oh.
And my Chinese name also is Jide, 次的.
Sanchu.
So
Sanchu.
Santiao.
Sanchu.
So what
Santiao.
about your name?
次的.
Rachel.
Yeah, Regel. 次的.
Okay. When the stomach is full, what should be empty?
Should be empty is to the small and large intestines.
Okay. What are the six? Ito na yung extraordinary Fu. Remember, the heart is not part of it. It's not one of them.
Oh. So yeah, these are the brain, the marrows, bones, vessels, gallbladder, and the uterus.
So the
Okay.
sea of marrow is the brain, no? These are
Okay.
the extraordinary Fu. The extraordinary organs are or not connected with the 12 meridians.
Oh, they are not connected.
Good. The extraordinary organs are related to the blank, all of which originate from where?
From the 8 extraordinary vessels, all of which originate from the uterus in the women or from semen palace in men. Oh,
Okay, so the
semen
semen
palace in
palace is
men?
the uterus. Okay. Semen palace.
Someone na.
Six or okay. What is the function of the six extraordinary Fu? Give their location. Why are they located there? Uh, is it yin or yang?
So they're located deeply so they can work as reservoir, storing vital substances. They do not fit into either yin or yang categories. They do not produce substances and are hollow like full organs, but store substances like Zang organs. They have Zang organs functions, but full organ shape.
So that answers the question kanina, no? They do not produce substances, but they are hollow, like
Oh.
the food. Okay. Di ba usually ang food they don't store, but the extraordinary food they store or they store, like the gallbladder, di ba? Zhang refers to blank.
Interior location of the
How do you
Zang.
pronounce this? Xiang?
Zang.
Ay, Diyos ko. Sang. Ay,
Zang. Zang. Z.
uh,
Zang.
Zhang.
Sang.
Mm.
Sang.
I'm
Oh,
not
Like
so
TS. Sang. Sang.
So it's
Sang.
nice to doc if they have like the way if you write the like, English version, it should have the pin in or at least the one by the intonation bitaw.
okay.
Uh
Galing.
I'm not so expert naman
We're
if for
learning from you.
experience.
We wouldn't know naman if Sang.
Sang.
Okay. Zhang refers to blank.
Interior location of the Zangfu.
Okay. Well, Sang,
Xiang,
Xiang, Xiang.
Xiang.
manifestations or refers to the image of manifestations or image.
Okay, very good.
Hmm.
The most important organ called the ruler, emperor, and monarch, take care of it very much. Take care of it very well.
The heart? Mm.
Yes. Kaya nga,
Like
no, we need to actually educate people to look at, under their tongue. Oo. Especially pag bata pa. Okay? Heart governs what? Controls what?
the blood vessels and it controls the circulation of the blood and of course the sweat.
Okay. Blood and sweat. They're like, kaya nga, if you sweat a lot, you also will make the blood, I think, more concentrated, di ba?
Sa
Oh,
putok ka. Pula
yeah.
kag naong.
Heart manifests where?
And the face due to the amount of blood vessels in the face.
Okay. So kung luspad ka, wala kang kadugo-dugo. Mahina yung heart mo. No?
Yeah.
Heart houses the what?
Shan. It
Oh.
reflects the thinking and vital activity.
Oh, did you hear that, guys? He pronounced it as Shan.
Yeah. Shen. So E is on.
Shan.
Wow,
Shan.
we're
Shan.
learning from you. We want to do this every day.
Shan. Shan.
Practice lang.
Shan. Ah, okay.
Shan.
Heart
Shan.
opens to blank and dominates blank and blank.
So the heart opens to the tongue and then it dominates the taste and the speech.
Can you imagine one day if you wake up, you can no longer talk?
Yeah. That's why those people who have heart problems, they cannot talk, especially if they have the myocardial infarctions ba. Itong mga...
At saka your taste is bitter lang lahat, no? Parang,
mo na siya sa puto. Oy, lami ilang life.
That's why pala they slur. Diba? Pag
yeah,
mag-heart attack.
slur.
They slur.
Actually, the tongue pala is a reflection of the heart talaga. And since it is the emperor, so you have to also observe the condition of the other organs, so the tongue. Pericardium, interior-exterior connection is
Santiao.
yeah, Santiao. Oh, you see, half lang yung pinonounce Santiao. Parang
San-
CH, not, yeah, okay. Kalahati
Santiao. Santiao.
Santiao. Ay, wow.
Sanjiao na lang kaya easy to remember if you're speaking in English.
Santiao.
Okay. But we want to sound like Mandarin.
Yeah, baka mabash kasi kami ulit.
Oo, grabe.
Okay lang. They actually they understand. When I was in China, we visit the traditional Chinese clinic man. They understand, no problem.
Okay.
Okay.
The pericardium houses also the
Shan with
yeah,
heart.
Yeah. Actually, you
Mm.
don't pala sedate the heart, but instead you sedate the pericardium. Yung pala yun. That's what I learned from the books. Invasion of pathogens will first attack the blank and manifest as,
They first attack the pericardium and they manifest as coma and sometimes delirium.
yes, now we know. The general of the Zhangfu in charge of planning.
Liver,
Okay, fill in the blanks. The liver stores,
blood, dependent on the body needs,
the
and it
liver
maintains free flow of qi as it relates to emotion, digestion, and circulation,
and the
and it
liver,
governs the
yes.
yeah, governs the
The
tendons,
liver
main tissue
opens to,
to the eyes, and then it controls the tears and houses the hun.
okay. So from the eyes, we can see the condition of the liver. Next,
Hmm.
how do you pronounce it? Hun?
Hun, hun,
Oh, Hun. Okay, easy. Director of
hmm.
the granary of the Zhangfu.
Spleen
Spleen governs what?
governs the. Actually, I don't know this one, though. What is TNT? I
TNT
only
is
know bin time.
transportation and transformation.
I thought this one like trigger points for therapy
Oh,
or
no, no,
throw
no.
time.
Transformation and transportation.
Oh, okay, okay,
Think of
okay,
spleen.
okay. So digestion, absorption, and transmission of pure and turbid fluid,
Okay, the
and
action of the spleen is,
sense it goes
yes,
up,
it
and
likes what?
the spleen likes dry, and the spleen doesn't like damp.
Yes, and we love that, no? Okay.
That's why those people who have like immune problem, they have cough, they have phlegm because it's damp. So their spleen is working so hard.
Yeah.
Mm.
Dominates, the spleen
Uh,
dominates.
The blood keeps it in the vessel.
So if you have petechiae, parang mga pasa-pasa, that's a sign of a weak spleen, right?
Oh,
So the spleen opens to where and manifests where?
opens in the mouth, manifesting on the lips. Obvious man, if you're sick, your lips is too dry.
Oh yes, the spleen houses the what?
E.
Okay. So I notice you don't pronounce the Y pala, no?
Yeah, one a Y is pronounced as like silent. So So that's what one, two.
Wow. Thank you so much. We're learning a lot from you. Lung is the blank. What directions does it go?
The high minister. And it goes to disperse outward and descends.
Okay. The lung dominates three groupings. What are they?
So governs the chi and then controls the respiration and dispersing
It
skin
opens
and
to the skin.
yeah, yeah, opens
Skin.
to the skin. And then opens and descending regulates water passages.
Okay. It
Houses
opens
the
to the nose, no? Kaya pala pag nasal ka, you have an issue with your lungs.
yeah, you have makalang flu.
Yeah. What about the last one? It houses the,
Po.
oh, okay. Easy. Po. Lung disperses blank and moistens blank.
The disperses the wei chi or the defensive chi. And then it moistens the skin and the hair.
Wow. So if you have dry hair,
Mona siya. You have difficulty with lungs. Actually, I have problems with lung stuff when I was still young until now. Not so much as of now. That's why my hair is so dry.
oh, but you
Mm,
still have hair.
because the circulation of the water and the chi is abnormal.
Okay. Yeah, let's do something about it. That's why we're here. Generally, the lower zang or fu blank
Ascend.
and
It
upper zang or fu blank promoting
descend.
blank.
Yeah, going promoting the circulation of chi and the waters go downward.
Okay, so the lower zang and fu will ascend, the upper zang or fu will descend, and this will promote the circulation of qi and
Yeah.
filters downward.
Mm.
Kidney governs what?
The metabolism for water and for birth and growth and the reproduction and development.
So if your child has an issue with growth, no, or birth problems, you blame it on the kidney. The kidney stores what?
So the very essence, the Jing.
Yeah. How do you pronounce it? Ching?
Oh, J again. So Jing.
Ah, Ching. We guys,
Not Jing, not Jing. Jing.
Jing, Jing.
Jing.
Ching. Okay, galing talaga. Kidney governs.
The bones and the marrow,
Okay, it opens to.
the ears and the lower orifice. That's why dili ka
Kidney
dungog
is
do.
the root of the kundi ka dungog.
Chi.
Yeah, the root of the chi. And it houses the, how do you pronounce
Chi.
it? Huh?
Chi.
是
Tse.
Chi.
Tse.
Ah.
Oh,
是
tse. Tandaan mo yan, Ma'am Trix, ha? Tse.
是是
Chi and body fluids are stored where?
In all the yin organs,
Okay. Blood is produced by
the spleen, the heart, the lungs, the kidneys, and liver.
chi is produced by
Lungs, spleen, and kidneys.
body fluids are produced by
The spleen, the stomach, the small intestine, and the large intestine.
essence is produced by.
Kidney, of course,
Okay,
and
so when you're talking about essence, you have the congenital and the acquired essence, no? The congenital essence, of course, sa kidney yan, where the acquired essence, we have the spleen. And together, they will form the kidney essence.
Mm.
Vital substances relationships. The heart,
Governs the blood,
the liver,
stores the blood, and move the chi.
spleen.
Transform it and transform ku chi, holds blood in vessels and influence body fluids.
How do you pronounce it? Kuchi? Parang
Ku.
Gucci. Ku.
So
Okay.
G is pronounced as K.
Ah, okay. Thank you for.
Ah.
哭泣哭泣哭
Wow.
Governs
Lungs.
chi, governs the chi, disperses and descends body fluids,
On the kidneys.
stores essence or the jing, and influence the body fluids.
Wow. Relationships of the tissues. The heart
Controls
controls
the blood
what?
vessels. Yeah, it controls the blood vessels. Show health on facial complexion.
The liver controls.
The sinews or tendons shows health on nails.
The spleen controls the what?
Yeah, it controls the muscles and show health on the lips.
The lungs control
Controls the skin, shows health on body hair.
body hair, no? Hindi head hair.
Body hair.
The kidney.
Nasa sa head. Controls the bones, shows hair health on the hair of the head.
Okay, very good.
The one that controls the liver, doc, I have actually one friend who have very deficient in protein and they have problems with liver. The nails fall out.
Oh,
Very bad nails. Yeah.
so we have to nourish the liver blood, no?
Oh. So they will check your nails if it's your healthy.
Yes, and yeah, interesting. What controls the tongue and taste?
The heart,
Controls the eyes and sight.
liver,
Controls mouth and taste.
the spleen,
Controls nose and smell.
the lungs.
Controls ears and hearing.
Oh, kidneys. I
Affected
didn't
by
hear that
heat.
one. Affected by heat is the heart.
So at what time do you not advise the patient with heart issues to come out?
Very hot weather and like mid-noon.
Yeah, 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. Grabe, no? Um, Affected by wind.
Liver,
Affected by dampness.
spleen,
Affected by dryness.
Lung.
Affected by cold.
Kidneys.
Heart and lung relationship. What is the blood and chi connection?
So the heart is the monarch or the king. Transform blood.
Okay.
The lungs is the prime minister. Surrounds the heart.
Wow.
And the lungs governs qi. Controls respiration. Disperses zong qi. And assists respiratory and blood circulation.
Wow. How did you pronounce it? Zong Chi.
Zong. Zong.
Ah, Zong.
Song. Songs.
Pala yan,
Qi.
Zong. Oh my God. Ang dami kong wala.
Zong.
Songs.
Like, you really haven't sent, no? Oo. Kaya siguro may problema ka sa lungs. Okay, let's go to the heart and spleen relationship connected via the blood.
So the heart governs, pushes, and transforms the blood. Heart yang moves blood.
Mhm.
Then the spleen generates and holds it, gives substantial basis for transformation of the red body fluids into blood.
So a person whose complexion is very pale, or whose face is very pale, we can say na meron siyang heart-yang deficiency, di ba?
Yes, yes. That's why in Chinese medicine, doc, if they have this, like in China, it's still part of the culture that they go out in the more early morning to do the Tai Chi. And they need the warmth of the sun so that the chi will move and flow.
Do you do that?
I wake up 8 a.m. and at 9.
Okay. Well, let's do it starting
I
tomorrow.
imagine na lang.
Sige.
But my mother-in-law always do that.
Wow. And is she still alive?
Oh, they do exercise every night. Like if you've been in
Mhm.
China every night, they dance. In the morning, they do the Tai Chi and the one, some martial arts, something under the sun.
Under the sun. And is it true that we have to be awake when the sun goes up?
Technically and theoretically,
But you wake
yeah.
up at 8 o'clock.
That's the modern man.
The irony.
Modern man.
Oh, okay. Sige. The
But I
heart.
do meditation in the morning.
Okay. Let's talk now about the heart and liver connected via the blood and storing blood governing Shen, adjusting emotions.
So the heart moves to transfer blood and controls the Shen. And Shen resides in the heart, and the seven emotions are controlled by the heart. So, and the liver stores and regulates blood by regulating the flow of qi. Regulations of emotions is related to regulation of qi.
Great. Now let's go to heart and kidney, balancing water and fire.
So this is all about controlling both, because heart is fire and kidney is water. So heart descends to the kidney to warm the water. And the kidney waters ascend to the heart to control the fire. So if it's the fire is too strong, water cannot control, it damages the water and the balance, it out of balance. And
Is that how the Chinese pronounce water? Water? Joke lang. Oh,
no.
joke lang ah. Nagulat ako.
Sir Regel, did you live in Australia before?
No, I'm used to speak usually in the more on
Your,
standard British accent.
Oh,
your accent is it.
iba yung accent niya, no? Iba. Okay.
So
Alright.
sometimes I need to adjust my accent because some people cannot understand.
Well, we will try to understand. Sige. Now let's go to lung and spleen. Can you mention three roles?
So roles of the lungs and spleen is both have roles in forming the qi, transfer functions, respiration functions. Spleen sends qi up to the lungs with water. Lungs disperse it downwards in a fine mist. The lung stores phlegm while spleen generates it.
Ang ganda ng pag-pronounce ng water. Water.
Water. Harry Potter.
Parang parang royal blood. Okay. Lung and liver. Dalawa. Water. Okay.
So lung is in the upper right jiao, and liver is the lower left jiao. So lung descends and disperses qi, while liver ascends Qi up and out in all direction.
Okay, if you notice, this is not anatomically correct, no? Pero sa Chinese, the lung is upper right jaw, the liver we all know as on the right upper. But nasa lower left jaw pala siya. Okay,
Hmm.
no questions. Lung and kidney.
So lung is kidney. Lung is upper source of water, and kidney controls water. It's also lower source. Lung controls the breath, is the master. Kidney holds breath, the root. Lung excretes water through the breath. Kidneys excretes water through urine. Kidney yin is the basis of yin or for whole body. So lungs yin deficiency can cause kidney yin deficiency, and kidney yin deficiency can't nourish the lung yin.
Ay, parang sa Oxford siya nag-aral. So,
Standard British.
British.
Pero may British.
Ay, parang nakakaano. Okay, parang naliit tayo, no?
Never.
Peppa Pig lang yun. Effects sa Peppa Pig.
Okay, you're very welcome with that accent in love. Okay, let's go to liver and spleen.
So liver and spleen. So liver regulates a smooth flow of qi. Then spleen is a source of qi. Liver ascends, assisting spleen qi moving upward. Liver stores blood. Spleen holds it in vessels. They work together to prevent bleeding.
Okay, so liver and spleen pa din. So in other words, if you have qi deficiency, the liver is affected. No?
That's why it takes time for, if you have problems with the liver, I noticed that, doc, they really have difficulty in healing wounds.
Oh yes, yeah, yeah.
Really, really bad. And that's why they have metabolic syndrome and they have high blood sugar.
Wow. Okay. Now let's go to liver and kidney naman. Hmm.
So the liver stores the blood, kidney stores Jing or essence. It's like a mother and son relationship. So essence and the blood can transform into one another.
So in other words, the essence can transform into blood, and essence is stored by the kidney. And so in case of emergency, if you lose blood, the kidney will come to the rescue, no? In the same way that blood stored by the liver can transform into essence.
Hmm.
Ay,
Because bone marrow produces blood
Kausap
also.
mo mo accent, Doc.
Ay, hindi ewan ko lang, parang very contagious yung accent mo. Parang naiba. Diyos ko mga Bisaya. Bakit gano'n? Pero maganda yung accent niya, Ma'am Trix, no? Napansin mo? Ibang klase. Ay, nakakainis.
It's like you're trying to mimic his accent.
Oh.
Yeah.
Ate.
Ay, dyan pa yung isang magmimimik. Okay, imimik mo nga ano, Sir M.
Sabi ako.
Okay, let's go to spleen and kidney. Diyos ko,
So,
ako na.
yeah. Spleen, the postnatal of qi. Kidneys is the prenatal of qi. Spleen transports the water. Kidney is the source of water. Spleen yang, roots kidney yang. Kidney essence relies on food essence for nourishment.
So here we could actually see that, ay, bakit nag-iba yung accent ko? The spleen and the kidney, they have a very, very mutual relationship, no? Because the spleen yang will root the kidney yang. So if you have kidney yang deficiency, you can also have spleen yang deficiency. How are Fu and Zang organs connected to their respective Zang and Fu organs?
So most Fu organs are anatomically connected, while Zang organs are connected by channel relationship.
Okay. The urinary bladder is connected through the
Stantiao, the triple warmer.
Qi Blanc mentioned the direction in all 6 yang organs.
It goes downwards, descend.
All yang organs involve Blanc and Blanc.
It involves digestions and excretion.
Okay, tandaan nyo yan ha. So, kaya yang na yang yan.
It
You need
moves.
yang to excrete. You also need yang to digest. All yang
You
organs
need
have the blank as their center. Adjust the blank and you adjust the others.
it all starts with the center stomach.
Okay. Iba yung accent niya ha, nakakainis. It comes so naturally. Di ba, Ma'am Trix? Okay.
Yes, no.
The small intestine does what? Explain the pathway and the mental aspect.
So small intestine receives transformed food from stomach and separates clear from turbid. Then the mental one, discernment, distinguish relevance and clarity before making a decision.
Yeah. So it separates the pure and impure. Parang we have the good the good and the bad. Diba? So you
Correct.
need to really decide. You need to there's a term for it eh. You need to separate or you have to be able to know how to sort things before making a decision. Sanchao, 5 functions.
So there are 5 functions of the Santiao, mobilizes and differentiate Yuan Qi, and controls the transfer of Qi, controls water passages, functions to maintain free passage of excreting, and reflected in body cavities.
Wow, talagang ano siya, royal blood. Okay. O take note, Ma'am Trix, Yuan. Hindi siya
Yen.
yuan.
Yanchi.
It's pronunciation with the Japanese yen. It's
Ah,
just
Yanchi.
like
yen.
Yanchi.
yen.
Okay. So
Mm.
yan chi. Okay.
Yanchi.
Now let's go to the gallbladder, 6 functions.
So there are 6 functions of the gallbladder. That is, it stores and excretes bile, receives from the liver. Bile flows dependent on liver qi. It controls decisiveness, controls sinus, provides qi to sinus for agility and for movement. Gallbladder's ascending actions aid liver qi movement. Liver oversees smooth flow. Only young organ that doesn't deal with food or drink or waste products. Only young organ that doesn't communicate with the outside.
Okay, can you teach all the Cebuanos to speak that way? Para may royal blood. Stores, control.
Peppa Pig effect.
Pause.
The stomach.
This is more like a posh language, but
Yeah.
mine is more like a standard British, not the posh one. Posh is different. The royal accent is different.
Okay.
But we can speak in royal accent as well if
But
you
it
wish.
sounds good. Let's make it Bisaya na. So what about your
Okay.
Bisaya? Is it
Bisaya,
a British accent?
posh, kinaraang bitdak.
Okay. Now let's talk about the stomach.
The stomach controls receiving, controls the rotting and the ripening, and controls transportation of food essences, controls the sending of qi, and the origins of fluids.
Okay. How does the stomach control receiving?
It takes in the food and drink and holds them down.
How does the stomach control rotting or ripening?
It first macerates the food and prepares for the spleen to separate and to extract essence from food. The origin of qi is stomach, as is the first place for intake of gu qi.
Okay. How does the stomach control transportation of food essences?
So the spleen and the stomach transport nutrients to the muscles.
Stomach ascends or descends?
It goes downwards, descends.
How is the stomach the origin of fluids?
It becomes the origin of fluids because generally fluids from the food and drink, and the stomach fluids go to qi or condense to qin and ye. Stomach likes moist, tends to dry.
So the stomach fluids go to the kidney.
Yeah, kidney.
Now let's go to the large intestine.
So the large intestine controls the passage and conduction, receives food and drink from the small intestine, transforms digested food into stool, reabsorbs pure liquids from the small intestines, allows for letting go.
Wow, okay. Hindi ko... Let's talk about the bladder, urinary bladder.
Kisa ka doka, kisa ka doka. Ano sa yung tanong ka? Pause lang sa.
Okay, wait lang. Let's now listen to Sir Harold to continue with the rest of the questions for the Zhang Fu theory. Okay, Sir Harold, good afternoon. He's
Good
also
afternoon, Doc. Good afternoon, everyone.
Boo. Yeah, so let's talk about the urinary bladder. What does it do?
The urinary bladder removes water received from small intestine and transformed to urine.
How are the channels related?
Superficial to internal relationships are based on channel distribution, not anatomical relationship.
Okay, so I think that's very clear. When you talk about the channel, you're not actually talking about the organs. The role of the uterus, three roles.
Regulates menses, houses fetus or prostate in men.
The role of the brain.
It controls intelligence, sea of marrow.
The role of the marrow. Mention three.
The marrow fills the bones, contributes to blood production, and it nourishes the brain.
The role of the bones.
Structural framework, houses marrow, and functionally associated with,
The
is
kidney.
this key, doc? Key or
Kidney.
kidney? Okay, kidney. Okay.
Role of the blood vessels.
It houses the blood vehicle for circulation of chi and blood and transport clear essence through the body.
Okay. Role of the gallbladder.
It stores pure substance, does not deal with food or drink, provides courage, and gives hand capacity for movement.
What describes the anatomy of the Zang? Or how would you describe the anatomy of the Zang?
Uh, Stolen organs.
Okay. Wala. Wait lang. What happened? Yeah, I think. Okay. Wait lang wala. Can you see it? I cannot control it. Okay. Yeah. What about the Zang? How do you describe the function? Hello, Sir Harold? Nawala yata. Sir Harold,
Producing and storing yeast. Producing and
okay. Ano ba nangyari? Wait lang. Okay. Jing Qi is nutritive Qi. Which syndrome is more common with Zhang?
deficiency.
Okay, so when you talk about the Zhang, the spleen, the lung, the sino pa ba? The kidney, the heart, and the liver, more commonly you'll be talking about deficiency conditions. What describes the anatomy of the Fu?
Wait. Wait, doc.
Sige. If the Zang are solid, Zang organs are solid, what are,
Hollow
yeah.
organs. Anatomy for hollow organs.
Okay, what is the function of the Fu?
Receiving and digesting food, transmitting and excreting waste.
So as you mentioned earlier, digestion and excretion, no? What syndrome is more common with Fu or young organs?
Excess.
Yes. So what are the young organs? We have the SI, LI, the stomach, the gallbladder, no? What else? The bladder
Young organs.
and the gallbladder. Is the
Gallbladder.
anatomy of the extraordinary Fu more similar to Zang or Fu?
Fu.
Yes, of course, extraordinary Fu na nga. Is the function of the extraordinary Fu more similar to Zang or Fu? Function na to ngayon, ha?
Zang.
Okay, so that means they store, no? They don't discharge. What Fu and element does the liver correspond to?
Gallbladder wood.
How about the heart?
Heart. Um, heart is fire.
The Fu ng heart.
I forgot na, Doc.
You cannot forget. Small intestine, di ba?
Small
Partner yan
intestine.
sila. The heart, pag sinabi, the Fu of the heart is the small intestine. Okay? What about the spleen? Sino ang Fu ng spleen and what element?
Spleen. Oh,
What happened?
spleen, small intestine.
No. Heart yung small intestine.
Stomach.
Stomach.
Stomach. O, di ba? O, ito, the lung. You should know this. It's
91.
very important.
Lung, large intestines, metal.
Yes. Kidney.
Urinary bladder, water.
How does Zang relate to Jing Qi?
Zang is involved in the production and storage of Jing Qi.
Okay, remember, ang Zang, storage yan, no? Production and storage.
Yeah.
What is the first characteristic of the Zhang Fu theory?
Zhang Fu connection.
Yeah. Kaya dapat alam mo yung Zhang sa alam mo yung Fu. What is the second characteristic of the Zhang Fu theory?
Each Zhang has its outside domination, manifestation, opening, and related emotion.
What is the third characteristic of the Zhang Fu theory?
Zhang Fu is not only an anatomical until, but also concept of physiology and pathology.
So it's not only anatomical, no? What is the heart responsible for?
Controlling blood and vessels, consciousness, thinking, memory, and sleep.
So if you lack sleep, that means we have an issue with the heart, diba?
Yes, Doc. Sometimes when I lack sleep, parang nanikip yung dibdib ko sa medyo mabigat ba yung feeling, Doc.
Gibuwagan ra ka doy.
Okay. The lung responsible for?
Dominates chi and controls respiration, breathing, cough, and voice.
What is the spleen responsible for?
It is the acquired root which generates chi, governs appetite and bowel movements.
Liver.
maintains free flow of qi and emotional activity.
Kidney.
The congenital root, it stores jing and dominates development and reproduction.
Wow, thank you so much. Congratulations to Sir Regil and Sir Harold. And I hope you enjoyed today's review. And see you again next week
Thank you,
for
Doc.
vital substances. Thank you so much. Maraming
Thank you,
salamat.
Doc.
Ano kaya papunta itong si ano? Saan ka na? Thank you very much.
Thank you, Doc.
Thank you po sa lahat. See you
you.
next time. Bye-bye po.
Thank you.